For over 100 years, Tyrannosaurus rex has been more than just a dinosaur. It's been a monster in our movies, a metaphor for unstoppable force, and the undisputed star of our childhood imaginations. But if you strip away the Hollywood roar and the cartoonish caricature, you'll find something far more incredible, a real animal, more complex and fascinating than any myth. This is the true story of T. Rex, not as a monster, but as a living, breathing king that ruled a lost world. It's a story written in stone, rebuilt bone by bone, and rewritten with every new discovery. Our story begins not 66 million years ago, but in 1874 in a Colorado quarry. A paleontologist named Arthur Lakes found some huge, leaf-shaped teeth. They were filed away, misidentified, a forgotten clue. The king was trying to introduce himself, but we just weren't ready to listen yet. The real debut came in 1902. A legendary fossil hunter named Barnum Brown uncovered partial skeletons in the Hell Creek Formation of Montana. In 1905, the president of the American Museum of Natural History, Henry Fairfield Osborn, gave the creature its unforgettable name, Tyrannosaurus rex, Tyrant Lizard King. It was the marketing masterpiece, cementing its reputation from day one. But Osborn's first reconstruction was, by today's standards, completely wrong. He imagined a hulking, slow-moving beast that stood upright and dragged its tail on the ground, like a monstrous kangaroo. This incorrect image was seared into the public mind for decades. T. Rex didn't just appear out of nowhere. It was the product of 100 million years of relentless evolution. Its ancestors, the Tyrannosauroids, started small. Back in the Jurassic period, creatures like Guanlong from China were no bigger than a person, with long, three-fingered arms and a coat of primitive feathers. For most of their history, tyrannosaurs lived in the shadows of bigger, better predators like the allosaurs. Their rise to power was a slow burn. Over millions of years, they developed key adaptations, stronger skulls, sharper senses, and a shift from being fast, mid-sized hunters to becoming powerful bone crushers. This transformation hit its peak in North America during the last few million years of the dinosaur era. T. Rex emerged as a hyper-specialized apex predator, perfectly designed to hunt the giants of its time, the heavily armored Ankylosaurus, the formidable Triceratops, and the towering Edmontosaurus. To eat them, it had to become invincible. This depth perception was critical for judging distance when charging at prey. Its inner ear suggests it moved with a slow, purposeful gaze and was great at detecting the low-frequency sounds made by the footsteps of other giant dinosaurs. So what about the big debate? Was it a fast hunter or a slow scavenger? The modern view is, it was both. Its legs were pillars of muscle, but computer models suggest a top speed of around 15 to 25 miles per hour. Not a sprinter, but its real advantage was stamina and power. It was likely an ambush predator that could walk efficiently for miles, conserving energy until it was time to strike. And what about those tiny arms? Far from useless, they were incredibly strong, capable of bench pressing over 400 pounds each. Their exact function is still debated, maybe for pinning prey, helping it stand up, or even for social interactions. And one of the most revolutionary discoveries, T. Rex was probably feathery. We know its earlier relatives were covered in fuzz. While a giant adult might not have needed a full coat, it's almost certain that young T. Rex had a downy covering, and adults may have kept some feathers for display. As a hatchling, it was only a few feet long, covered in downy fluff, and hunted insects and small lizards. Life was dangerous. Maybe only 1 in 50 survived their first year. Fossils like the famous specimen Jane show us a sleek, long-legged animal built for speed, occupying a completely different niche, chasing smaller, faster prey. As for the hunter versus scavenger debate, it's a false choice. Trackways showing multiple T. Rex walking together, and bone beds containing several individuals suggest they might have lived in family groups or loose associations. A T. Rex that survived into its late 20s was a scarred veteran. The famous skeleton Sioux shows a life of incredible hardship, broken ribs, a shattered shoulder, arthritis, and a painful jaw infection. The fact that these injuries healed tells us this animal was incredibly resilient. It survived for weeks or months while incapacitated, which hints at a robust immune system and maybe even social support from its group. T. Rex didn't rule in a vacuum. It lived in the Hell Creek Formation, a lush, subtropical coastal plain teeming with giants. Its world was filled with its favorite prey, the horned Triceratops, the tank-like Ankylosaurus, and the duck-billed Edmontosaurus. Its only real competition came from the giant Raptordactyl, and maybe from other T. Rex. It sat at the very top of this vibrant, brutal food web, a keystone predator that shaped the evolution of everything around it. But its reign lasted for only 2 million years, a blink of an eye in geological time. It all ended 66 million years ago with the Chicxulub asteroid impact. In an instant, its world was vaporized, then plunged into darkness, ending the age of dinosaurs. But T. Rex had a second coming.